Good afternoon and welcome to the March 1st, 2021 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. It's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Jim Barrett.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You know, said in the church that it's good to be in the house of the Lord. After all the virtual meetings we've had, it's good to be here today.
That's right.
Pray with me. Father, thank you for every seat that is filled and represented here today. For each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room, I thank you. There'll be a sharing of ideas, agendas, and a time of work to be done. But Father, only you can see in perfect detail the end of every beginning, every project, every season, and every life. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Strengthen our confidence in who you are and who you made us to be. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. Bless this meeting today, all those present, as well as all the lives of those we will encounter afterward. Ready us to make every moment count. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. Well, it's nice to be back in person. It's been a while since we've been able to meet. Begin by making sure your cell phone ringers are on vibrate or off. I haven't had to do that in a while either. So, and we will begin with roll call vote. Welcome.
Just roll call.
Yeah.
Brian Dobb.
Present.
Becky Gibson.
Present.
David Nutty.
Present.
Jim Barrett.
Here.
I thought we were just talking about. I'm so used to saying roll call vote. We don't have to do it anymore. That's the first thing I said.
I'm sorry.
So everyone has the minutes from the February 16th, 2021 regular meeting and the February 17th, 2021 e-vote. Are there any additions or corrections to that?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. On down to new business, Mr. Binns, requesting permission for the Tateman Boot Drive on October 2nd. Come on up, sir.
Thank you. We're requesting that we can hold our yearly tap and boot drive on Saturday, October the 2nd. We would like to start the boot drive at 10 a.m. and finish at 4 p.m. There would be a group of two at each of those time periods. One at 6th and Grand and one at 24th and Grand. The materials we'll need in order for that to happen, we'll have to pick up at the street department. I'll pick those up at the street department on Friday, October the 1st, excuse me. And I'll return those materials to the street department on Monday, October the 6th. Pretty much the same as it's been for our last 8, 9, 10 years, whatever. We've been very, very lucky. Last year, over $4,000.
Great.
That the people in town were kind enough to get for the young people. The price of the toys keeps going up, but everything's really has worked pretty well. So that's our request.
Okay. Questions?
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All of
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Brad, come on up, talk about the agreement with Tetra Tech for a long-term monitoring plan.
I guess all of you saw, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I guess all of you saw the plans with Tetra Tech. They have been the company that for the last 12 or so years has helped remediate the contamination area of north of town. And that project is coming to an end. The funds were pretty much getting spent. We have maybe about $50,000 left that we were going to use to do sampling with. And so I had mentioned to them that we probably should do some continuation going forward to have some continuity, you know, as people, mayors and utility people come and go, that, and clerks and things, that we would have somebody that would know what the story was to pass on and carry on. So that's what this plan is. we were a little alarmed at the numbers, and we had about an hour discussion with them about that, the mayor and I, and we're going to keep our thumb on that, and so are they, to try to keep those costs. Those would be more of a higher end of the cost possibilities, and we hope to manage it, to be able to keep the cost down.
So the list of estimated budget won't be correct? It'll be less possibly,
It could be less, with
but no more than.
no more than.
Mayor, I think personally, this is a great plan from the standpoint of it's very important to the city of Cartersville. And, yeah, I see the cost on that, but, with this situation, we can't afford not to do what Brad and those folks have looked at and proposed.
We've had a grant in the past. Where are the funds coming from in the future?
Well, we had a revolving loan,
Oh, right.
so the funds in the future will come from the utilities, I'm assuming
Okay.
that we will pay those costs going forward as part of the monitoring of that situation.
Brad, I understand the importance of it. You gotta think that we don't own the building too, so is there any, responsibility from the current tenant that owns the building?
That area is pretty much cleaned up. This is more to monitor. This is,
Water grid.
yeah, we do periodic monitoring already, and we have picked up 5 or 6 more well locations, I think, over time that we'll monitor. And this is just sort of keeping an eye on the regulatory part of it and making sure that we meet our obligations, and that it's just basically somebody to keep an eye on us in the future and, give us reminders about this. Help us with the paperwork and everything that we have to file with the state.
Is this to test the water table underneath? Is this to test the water table underneath?
This is
the soil and everything?
overseeing of all that. We're already doing the testing. We have Century wells already in place, and we test those every couple of years. So that this is just sort of overseeing all that.
Is it, well, the current concern I have is on that, like, since we don't own the building anymore, if we have any runoff or any construction or anything coming off that building, and if it does seep into the ground, are these people are gonna tell us that it happened? Because there's no way that all that trico got out of that ground.
Well, the building's no longer included. It's my understanding, we could not have sold the building until it was environmentally sound, and we've had that approval. That's how we were able to sell it to, the police vehicle company, I can't remember what it is.
Carbon Motors.
Yeah, Carbon Motors, and then later on to the furniture group. We could not have done that without having it approved environmentally. And this is just monitoring any potential flow from, if I remember correctly, somewhere around the airport over to Waterloo Road.
So this isn't around the building, it's mainly on.
The building has been compliant the longest.
Yeah.
It had the most monitoring wells to begin with, and it's been compliant for the entire time. So it's not an
sort of
issue.
out of the equation at this point, the building area. It's more the area.
The flume, where,
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of leaning on, is I don't want another incident like we had with that.
it won't be. The
Understandable.
building is clean.
That's why, it's important that what they're proposing and doing is, Cartersville Utilities actually has been monitoring this situation probably when they was made first aware of it. There were sentinel wells put in, and they've been monitoring those things for years. And it's important from the standpoint that we keep our finger on these wells and the flume in the future. And I think this plan, the way it's proposed, you change administrations, you change boards, whatever, things get lost in the shuffle, but this is going to protect us from that.
And I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on
So
that.
so there's an area of contamination, just to explain it for everybody. And we have wells around the perimeter of that we test every 18 months to 2 years, so they're sort of in a rotation. And if ever there is any problem that shows up in any of that sampling, then we would get into more sampling, more testing. And So
And
we have a
originally-
plan in place that pretty much protects us.
And originally, Tetra Tech was the company who injected
Torpedo.
the chemicals that would absorb and or take care of what was in the ground. And then they monitored it thereafter, if I'm correct.
You're right.
And this is only for Tetra Tech, not for the Barnes and Thornburg.
That's for both.
It's for
They're
both.
in that price.
So both of them, what's Barnes and Thornburg, are they more on the reporting side, or are they more on the testing side, or where are they coming from?
There's a lot of regulatory to it, a lot of, so they take care of all the legal part, and Tetra Tech takes care of the technical part of the reporting.
Now, you pretty much need Thornburg and those groups when you have your meetings with IDA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you read in depth in that report, there are milestones in the reporting. It kind of ramps up a couple of different times over the next 15 years. And when it does, they handle most of the details for us, and we kind of keep an eye on it too.
And you said they test every 18 months?
But that, we pay for that. It's about $15,000 we spend every 18 months or 2 years to do our Century well testing. It was just done in the fall, the last time.
Any other questions?
Making the motion approved?
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to approve the Tetra Tech agreement. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, sir. And you want to talk about that, Mr. Byrd? Memorandum of understanding?
So about 14 years ago, when the utilities insurance switched off from the same coverage as the city, we went to a plan that had a higher deductible. So the city, the utilities at that time had agreed to put money in an HRA account that helped cover those deductibles and such. So that's been happening each year. And we were managed by SIHO all of those years. Well, a few months ago, they told us that they were getting out of the business. The compliance and regulatory on that stuff is getting tougher, and they were getting out. So we found out, and shopping around and looking for other, well, they had suggested someone, but we found out that Lineco, which the utilities and other city employees have their health insurance through, also offered this plan. So this is a MOU to get us in that plan. It has to be in place, and then it goes to the board of directors of Lineco Insurance sometime during March. And then they'll accept our money, and then the funds will be rolled over from SIHO to the Lineco policy at that time, sometime over the next few months.
I think it's a good benefit for employees that covers things that aren't typically covered. And the utilities are being generous in the amount they put in. We appreciate them doing that. Shows your appreciation for the employees. I think this is a good thing. We ought to do it, and I would make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. On down to department matters. Brad?
Okay, tell you about a few things. As you noticed, 7th and Central has been closed. I've been telling everybody about that for about a year probably, but the day it closes, all the issues start to show up, and I know it's making it a little bit tough to navigate for the bank. And I spoke to the bank president this morning about the situation, and she says that it's okay the way it is now for them. People can get into their drive-through. I think over the next few days, people will find shortcuts around to be able to get in there, but
How long will it be closed?
I'm gonna say 2 months. I hope it's more like 6 weeks, but be on the safe side. And hopefully we'll have Western open here, maybe in another 3 or 4 weeks. They're already starting to work on putting the concrete back. And sooner we can get that open, the easier that'll make this over here being closed, so. But I want to remind everybody, there's a lot of projects coming up. This sidewalk project will be firing up here in the spring, and the downtown's gonna be very hard to navigate really all summer. The thing that makes that even tougher is the Eastern Avenue will get paved as part of State Road 1 paving this spring, and State Road 44 on 3rd Street. All that stuff's gonna be going on at the same time, so it's gonna be tricky driving. So just kinda wanna remind everybody, it's gonna get, progress is tough, but we'll get through it. Also, the shred day, somebody had asked me the other day about when we were gonna have shred day. It will be the second Saturday in May at the, as far as I know right now, at the transfer station. We'll talk about that more when it gets closer. Also, I kinda wanted to let you know up front, I think I've spoken to you before about the new state mandate on phosphorus removal in wastewater. Kind of started out thinking that was going to be not such a big deal, but I finally got the numbers put in front of me last week, and it looks like it's probably about a $700,000 project to be able to inject chemicals that will cause the phosphorus to settle and let us trap it. So you'll be hearing me talk about that more as we go along. Everybody else in the state has to do it too, but I was hoping we could do it a lot cheaper, but this is what it looks like it's gonna be.
$7,000 a year or a month?
Beg your pardon?
$7,000 a year or a month? or a week?
$700,000 for total for the project.
700,000.
And then there will be ongoing costs after that.
It causes more sludge, which will cost us more to get rid of sludge, and it's looking like the chemicals that it will take to do this each year will be around about $100,000 a year.
With the higher phosphorus, can you still land apply it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we think at this point. And the only other thing is I filed our yearly compost site report last week, so we're compliant for another year. Anybody have any questions?
Is there any paving that's gonna be done on 30th Street?
Yeah, that'll be part of it. State Road 1 all the way through town.
Okay, you said Eastern, I was hoping it was gonna include 30th.
State Road 1 all the way through town, and State Road 44 all the way through town.
They'll start at the 5th Street Bridge and take it all the way to almost Walmart, is that correct? On 1? And then on 44, it'll start at like Gray Road and go all the way to Calvary Baptist. Is that correct?
Baptist Temple, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Baptist Temple, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Quick question for you, Brad.
Not bad.
When you say they're like they're redoing.
That is another project. And
Are
then
they gonna do
another
anything
year.
with curbs or sidewalks?
They'll do ADA ramps.
Okay.
They had, when they first started talking about this paving, they were gonna replace all the sidewalks.
Right, that's what I
It
thought.
kept getting cut until now they're just doing the ADA ramps.
Thanks,
And-
Brad.
Brad, Vine Street will be in another DES number, another year or so down the road.
Yeah, I think Vine Street is, I think it's next year.
Okay,
It's 1 year behind the rest.
all right. Thank you.
sir.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so moving down to old business. Anyone have any old business? How about miscellaneous business? If not, move on down to claims. Rosemary?
Claims for utilities is $2,750,419.88. City is $453,601.35. Payroll is $575,048.68.
Okay, motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you very much. Move on down to public forum. Is anyone from the public have anything to say? Nope. Okay, so I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much.